New at 4, a deadly takedown in Polk County with a very bizarre set of circumstances.
Deputies say they had no choice but to shoot a man after an alligator bit him. Les Shoes' Michelle Meredith is here keeping track of how this all went down. Michelle.
Well, this all ends with the shooting death of 42-year-old Timothy Schulz, but it started with a phone call to a Lakeland convenience store where someone said somebody there was shaking and acting bizarre.
At about 7:43, we received another call and said, hey, there's this white guy in the lake, and there's a lot of alligators in the lake. Apparently, he was attacked by an alligator while in the lake as well. Our deputies immediately arrived. As they were arriving, he was walking from the lake between the houses, and he had a set of garden shears with him. He immediately charged the deputies, but our deputies tried to de-escalate. We also tried to tase him. He climbed into the passenger side of the patrol vehicle, which was still running. He was trying to either get the rifle or the shotgun out of its holder. At that time, our deputies shot. They shot multiple times, and as a result, Timothy is deceased.
Now, the sheriff says Schulz had been arrested multiple times for possession of meth and that he just got out of jail this month. And of course, this is under investigation. Back to you.
The story of Timothy Schulz unfolded over just a few hours one Memorial Day morning. Picture this. It's just before 6 a.m. in Lakeland, Florida. A clerk at a convenience store calls 911, describing a man acting strangely. He's shaking, he wants to call his son, and he's clearly not himself. That man is Timothy Schulz, 42 years old, with a long history of run-ins with the law, mostly meth-related. Timothy had just gotten out of jail 6 days earlier, after another meth bust. He'd been in and out of trouble for years, but nobody could have predicted what was about to happen next. About 2 hours after that first 911 call, another one comes in. This time, it's a neighbor reporting a man in the lake. Yes, the same lake locals know is crawling with 10 and 12-foot alligators. Timothy's out there, treading water, just his head above the surface. Bystanders try to help. One even throws him a life vest. But he refuses, and when someone tries to talk to him, he growls. Literally growls. And then, as if things weren't wild enough, an alligator bites him on the right arm. But Timothy keeps going. Sheriff Grady Judd would later say, "The fact that he was bitten by an alligator and still continued his rampage is astonishing. But if you're high on meth, the person you see isn't always the person who's really there." Timothy finally makes it out of the lake, bleeding and limping, and grabs a pair of garden shears from someone's yard. He's seen throwing a brick at a truck, trying to break in. People are scared. One neighbor literally hides in her bathroom, afraid the chaos will come through her window. Deputies show up fast. They try to talk him down, tell him to drop the shears. They tase him twice. Nothing works. Meth can make people almost superhuman, and Timothy just keeps coming. And then the turning point. Timothy charges at the deputies, shears in hand, and tries to get into one of the police cars, apparently reaching for a rifle or shotgun inside. That's when the deputies open fire. Timothy Schulz is shot multiple times and dies at the scene. The shooting is now under investigation, as is standard. The deputies involved are on administrative leave, and the sheriff's office is running 4 separate inquiries into what happened that morning. Timothy's story is shocking, tragic, and in some ways all too familiar. Addiction, untreated mental health issues, and a system that struggles to help people like Timothy before things spiral out of control. It's easy to laugh at Florida Man headlines, but behind every one is a real person, a real family, and a real community left picking up the pieces. The next time you see a wild headline, remember Timothy Schulz. His story is more than just a meme. It's a reminder of the real struggles happening every day, just beneath the surface. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Florida Man on Friday. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more just like it. Until we meet again, make sure to watch out for alligators and Florida men.